What is up, people, and welcome back to the channel. I think it's about time I did an update on the Zcars build. Basically my health stuff have been a bit crap since brands, so it's going to be just an ongoing thing. So the Zcars, I've done a little bit because I've only been able to grab the odd few hours here before I get knackered and have to go and have a lie down. So I'm going to let you know where we are. So the car itself has changed a little bit since you've last seen it. So all this front system now is done. It's all done, tight, except for that blue one. It's got to be replaced for black. It is going to have a fan. It wasn't going to, but it is going to have one now, I've decided. But the problem I've got at the minute is, well, it's not a problem now. I wanted to wire this into the ECU, into the 9A4B, the MBE system. But I haven't got any spare pins on the ECU. So what I'm having to do with the fan is I'm going to, when the chap built it me, the rad, he put an M22 bung in. So what I'm going to do, or what I have done, is ordered the fan switch, like on a normal Mini or a Vauxhall. They've got the fan switches built into the radiators. Well, I've ordered one for, it comes on at 105 degrees and turns off at 96 degrees. These like to run at around about the 95 to 100 mark. I mean, a standard one comes in at 108 degrees, the standard rad fan. So they do run hot. So all I'm going to do with that is run a direct power to the fan from the big red kill switch. This has got the ones on the back. So that fan is going to run direct off the kill switch. Where it have a power going to the fan, then the earth will control the switch through the switch in the rad. It's simple. It's the way a lot of race cars do to keep it simple. Then the ECU is controlling the water pump. Now the ECU, you can have parameters in there. So once the ignition's killed, the water pump stays on until a temperature is acquired. So basically, you can come in, flick the ignition off, leave the kill switch on. The ECU will leave the fan, the radiator will leave the water pump running. So the water's circulating. And the fan, if it's got that hot, the fan will stay on. And the fan will cool the system down to its desired temperature. And then also the water pump will drop off. You get me? And if you leave it like that, if the engine starts to peak itself, because when the engine's turned off, it cooks itself basically, heat soak. It will automatically turn back on again and keep cooling. So that is what's happening with the rad fan. It is just going to be switching the fan in the rad, controlling the fan. Right, so that's all done. The tank has been refoamed. And all new bolts and gaskets fitted. So there we go, look. So that's been done also. Can get the bloody thing back in there. I'm yet to do the wiring for the pump because I'm waiting for the switch. Because what I've brought for the bulkhead are these. Everything's going to have deuce fasteners on it. I've got a big kit, but I didn't have any bulkhead ones. So all this is here is going to be into a bulkhead deuce connector. So I've got to wait for the switch for down here before I can start working out how the loom's going to go, where it's going to run to look nice. Yeah. So now all this is tight as well. Clutch master cylinder's back on. So the lines, the brake lines have been finished up. We've bracketed here. We are bracketed here. I had to stand it off the fiberglass because I didn't want to come through here. So all that's fitted. The battery's in. All of these 2mm spacers have been put in to lift all the lines up off the aluminium. So they're all done. We have got the water pump fitted. These lines are just for proof of concept. This is the way I've designed the line to run. And if the cooling system works as we are hoping, then he's going to take these off and he can send them away and you have them made. He's going to have them made in black. Yeah. So we've got our water pump, David Craig. We've got our MBE amplifier, which is this little thing underneath two of the fuel lines. These have still got to be connected down. Battery, these are the ECU power and negative. We've got the hard lines have been terminated into soft lines in there, which run up to a bracket coming off here. So they are nice and sturdy. Then if we slide it forward, here is our fuel pressure regulator, which is quite neatly mounted in there. Now this is mounted to a bit of 4mm alley there, but this 4mm alley actually goes all the way through to this side. So it's not got any chance of tilting, and with it being longer on this side than this side should help with vibration. We've got all the fuel lines are on. So we've got our return line, our AM8 feed line, which comes down there, and the other one goes across to this side. We have also got some extras, as in the wiring loom is in. So this is the one I had to add. I was going to have a drain plug on there, but I can't because that's now oil temp. The oil temp fits in the bottom of this tank. This is still to be determined in positioning yet, the rest of this loom, but it's pretty tidy as it is. I did have this cable tied up, but I had to take it back down. This one here has got to go to the regulator rectifier, so I might swap that plug out for something that I've actually got the other side too. Gear position. The breather for the top of here, that's been changed to AN6. We have a throttle cable, quite a nice throttle cable to be honest. Bung in there, we've kept it. I could have cut this off there, put this on there and then teed in, but I just thought, just keep it just in case. Put the old air filter back on for now. We've got the air temperature sensor is inside the bottom of it here. Oil pressure. All the coil looms come up nice and neat. What else under here? Really, no, I mean the loom's not quite finalised yet, but it's looking rather neat. I'm quite impressed with how it's turned out, to be honest. This here, if anybody wants to know how to do this, it's a piece of piss, because the original dowel that sticks out of there, you just knock it through from the inside. I think that's a 5/16 tap, the AN6. Just tap it, bish bash bosh. Job's a good one. So then the loom comes down here. These are his flat shifter plugs and auto blip, but he's not using those because he's having the paddle shift. Now down here we've got his ECU fitted behind the driver's seat. We've got his, I think that's fuel pump and that's power. Actually no, that's power, that's fuel pump. I'm going to label them. This is the plug for the comms lead for the mapping. It is supposed to be that one, but this loom now runs up here, runs up there, runs across with the throttle pedal cable up to here. So this is for the dash display. So that's about it really. As I say, loom's in, fuel system's finished now. So fuel system's finished, Loom, there's a few little bits to tie up. The water system, I'm waiting for all new hose clips to come for that, and then we can try that. So what's left? We've got this to fit, which has got to have the oil tank breather and the engine breather on, and the header tank breather. We've got to make a thing for the power switch. These are ignition switch, start switch. So there's only 2 switches on the car. This is the loom that plugs in here. Yeah. One of these has to go to the fuel pump. One of them is ignition and the other 2 are spares, because we're not running what that's for. This is the extension loom for the instrument cluster thing. This, basically. And then we've got this to fit, which plugs into that plug I said I need to get to figure out what to do with. That's about it, really. We've got brake bias adjuster. There's not much more. It's just the little jobs. It's like, I've got to fit this dash, yeah? And it needs to go about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the alley bender out and I'm going to bend something up out of aluminium. See if we can make something nice and snazzy for that to go about there. And then I need to put the seat back in ideally so I can see what angle this needs to go at. What else can I inform you in? The switch panel. I don't quite know how to do it. So I've got to get that really and this in the car looking neat and tidy. I thought about having it down here. Then I thought about putting it there. So the switches, say they were like that. Do you know what I mean? Like here. One in line with the other kind of thing. And then I could come off this, up, back, sink the 2 switches in. So it's all hidden, so it hides this as well then. But I don't know where to put the big power switch. I can't fathom. It's just going to look out of place, isn't it? So I think what we need to do first of all is we need to make a bracket for the dash. So I need to pop the seat in the hole so I can get the height and the angle right for the dash. Yeah? I hope you didn't mind me carrying on doing a few little bits and bobs. It's just nice to come in here and relax my head a little bit. Yeah? I mean, I could be working on this, but I can't be bothered because customer's car now, it's already been in here. It hasn't been in there that long for the amount of work I've done because I'm quite a quick worker. But because I've had weeks with illness, I can't. It's not been done as fast as I wanted it to. Now I want it finished this month. Then I've got to get on to Richard at RLM to get in for mapping, because I'm not going to start this car because I have no idea what's in the ECU. It's a brand fire new ECU. I don't know if they put a map in there from SBD for this engine. So I'm not even going to start it. And there's a couple of programming things I need modified for the oil temp, the oil pressure, the water pump controller. That's all that's got to be turned on and off, and settings done in the ECU. So I'm going to leave that down to professionals because I haven't even got the leads to plug it in. Fuel pressure, I'll probably set that myself because I want to flush the whole fuel system out first. And I'll probably set the fuel pressure to about 4.5 bar just to help them. I can't balance the throttle bodies because I'm not going to get it running. I'll probably crank it to prime it, but that's it really. Right. So, updated. You have been updated. How do you feel? I feel terrible, but how do you feel? I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I am sorry that it's been a while since I've done one on the Z car, but I've had a good couple of days now, and we've got a new puppy, Labradoodle, loving it. I say a new puppy, it's our first puppy. So, right then, I thought I'd give you a quick lowdown on how the car's doing, and oh, and the X on the floor, by the way, that X, that is where the crutch strap goes through for the 6-point harness. And as you can clearly see, there's nothing there to attach it to. So that X just gives me an idea on where it drops through the seat, and I've actually got to come up with something, because he had it coming through the crutch and then straight back to where the lap belt's attached. That's no good. That is your, ideally that helps you, the seat stay down, I think. They do call it something to stop you sliding out the seat, but it also helps the seat hold down, yeah? So really we want to be as straight down or a little bit back, so I need to come up with something for there. Right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, people.